name of the topic for this day. Today we are talking about training entrepreneurs and sales. The topic for this day. Today we are talking about training entrepreneurs and sale of projects. We are talking about projects. We are talking about maybe some difference between entrepreneurs and businessmen, and generating some ideas. So welcome again, and this is the week number 4. Remember, the code for this course is FG682. This is the code that you need to assign today, maybe FG682. So welcome, my name is Alder, and I'm ready to start. I hope that you are ready too, and we are taking the content for this class. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the goals. What are our goals for this class? Number 1, in this class we are going to learn the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. We are talking about if exists or doesn't exist any difference between these two men. This is the first goal. Number 2, we're going to talk about personal projects, and I hope that at the end of this class you identify exactly what personal or ideas you have in mind. This is the second goal. The third goal is that ending we understand how to sell your ideas, my ideas, or how invest or savings in any business. We are talking about some ideas in Guatemala country, or maybe what ideas you have in mind, or maybe you are working or doing now. At the end, we are talking about this goal. So we have always 3, 4, maybe 2 goals. And every time we start with the class. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the quote. We have today a famous quote. Always in the first step in this class is a famous quote. And today I invited to Abraham Lincoln. He was US president a lot of years ago. And Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I repeat, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours. Please look in bold letter, sharpening the axe. We have in sharpening letter, in bold letter, sharpening the axe. We need more time sharpening the axe if we are working with it. Abraham Lincoln had the reason when he said this. If you and me have maybe 6 hours to work in a tree, we need 4 hours to sharpen the axe. Why? Because you need to think, because you need to take a rest, because you need to take a seat. Maybe you can take a seat, think about your ideas. What will you do today? What will you do tomorrow? What will you do maybe in 2 years, in 5 years? In this moment you are sharpening the axe. All of us need sharp the axe. We need to think slowly, in calm. We need to think about the future. And this is the quote. This is the advice whom we are starting today with the class. So welcome again, and let's start talking about the topic. First of all, I want to talk about a question. I have a lot of questions today. The first question is the same a businessman than an entrepreneur? What do you think? Is the same? When I talk about a businessman, who works maybe in an enterprise, or maybe he's the owner of the enterprise? What do you think about this question? Or is the same when I say I am an entrepreneur and I am a businessman? What do you think? Is the same, or we have any difference? Maybe with the pictures you are watching now in your screen, you can think what's the difference. Not exactly the cloth. This is not the difference. Maybe the cloth is not important, but I need to explain to you. For example, at the right side, you watch a man who is working maybe in a cafeteria. Maybe, I don't know, more or less. Maybe he is working in his own cafeteria. And maybe he opened the business, maybe he closed the business at the end of the day, maybe he's preparing some coffee cups, maybe, I don't know, and he works every single day. What about the another picture? In the another at the left side, you can watch, for example, a man who is wearing, for example, a suit. Maybe he has a tie, an expensive watch. Maybe it's expensive. But what's the difference if I say to you that the right side, the man of the right side is an entrepreneur? If I say to you that the man of the left side is a businessman, what's the difference? Is not the difference? Is not the cloth? Is not the difference? Is not the expensive watch, nevertheless. So what's the difference? Okay, the main difference between these two men, the main difference is the time. The time. Teacher, I don't understand what exactly are you talking to me. What about the time? So when I say the time, I am talking about the time in business. The time in business. For example, you are an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. We are an entrepreneurs. But if you, for example, or me, it doesn't matter. If you quit from the business in 1 month, quit from the business maybe in 1 year, you only was an entrepreneur. You are not a businessman. I'm talking about the time. But for example, if you are doing business, you are making business maybe for 3 years, 4 years, you are not an entrepreneur still. You are now a businessman because you are working. You have worked maybe for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, I don't know. But this is the main difference between these two concepts: a businessman and an entrepreneur. The time. If you are not sure to make business, if you are not sure to make real your ideas that you have in mind, you only are dreaming. You only have a lot of dreams. But when you start with the dreams doing it real, you start like an entrepreneur. If you work hard, if you do your best, and you make a lot of business, maybe for 3 or 4 years after you start, so you become in a businessman. You are becoming a businessman. So this is the main difference between these two concepts: businessman and entrepreneur. What do we need to becoming a businessman? Because all of us are entrepreneurs. What do we do? What do we need to make a businessman? So I hope that you can may watch this picture. What do you need? What do I need? We need to make a jump. We need to make a jump. Why a jump? Maybe you are saying now. Why a jump? because a jump includes to take the challenge, because the jump includes to take the risk. The jump includes to make a decision. If you make the decision today, if you make a decision this year, this month, maybe this week, you start to jump from a dreamer to an entrepreneur. And if you work very well and you offer good products, you offer good services, I don't know, you will make another jump to be an entrepreneur to a businessman. So maybe you need 2 or 3 jumps, maybe 2 or 3 jumps. The first jump is that you now, maybe you are a dreamer, maybe you have a lot of dreams, you say, I have a good ideas, I want to do that, I want to do this, a lot of ideas, a lot of dreams. But if you only generate some ideas in your mind, you only are a dreamer. But if you make the first jump and make and start to make reality your ideas, you start with making like an entrepreneur. So this is the first jump. When you work 3 years, 4 years, and you do your best, you attend very well to your customers, sell very well products, sell very well services. So you are making the second jump from the to be an entrepreneur and to become a businessman. So we need every day to do our best. We need every day to make the good very well, the things very well. So we need to do like this picture. This boy, this children is, this boy is jumping and he's enjoying what he's doing. So maybe when you start doing business, you need to enjoy too. You need to enjoy your work. You need to enjoy what you are offering, what you are doing, what you are making with maybe one customer, two first customers that you will have. But this offers to you a chance to make the second jump and to become a businessman. So we need a decision. So we need to take the challenge. We need to take the risk. All the risks that we can find when we start that track or that way to starting doing business. What else? What else do we have? Okay. For example, we are talking about now about some projects. Maybe you have now in your mind in a lot of ideas. Maybe you have one idea, I don't know. But what do you need to do with your ideas? Okay, first of all, you need to convert your ideas in a project or in projects. Let's talk about one idea. You have only one idea, for example. So you need to make it real, to convert your idea in a project. Why do you need to convert an idea in a project? Because you need to sell your projects. If you have good ideas, if you have a lot of dreams in your mind, but you don't do anything, now you are lost. You need to make it real. Start working very hard in your ideas and to become a project. If you have a project, your idea converted in a project, you maybe can sell this project. A lot of people in Guatemala have maybe good ideas. They have the solution how to change the country. Maybe you're watching in the TV, you're listening on the radio, you are watching in the social media. A lot of people has the solution for Guatemala City, for Guatemala country. but they say the government has a lot of errors. The president is not working his job very well. But I don't know if you are asked before this class, how can I do, what can I do about my city, what can I do about my family, what can I do about my country? Well, the first step is to make real an idea, to convert it in a project, and maybe to sell it, because it changed the economy, it changed our lifestyle that we can have. So what do we need? We need to transform, to convert the ideas in real projects. This is the idea in this class. So this is the question: how can I do to sell a project? What can I do? So we have here an idea. I don't know, what do you think when you watch, for example, a light? What do you think when you watch a light? If we turn on the light, for example, in our bedroom, in the house, we can see all around us. But if you or me or all of us are in dark, we cannot see anything, because in dark we don't see anybody, we don't see anything. So we need to turn on the light. We need to turn on the light. When I say to turn on the light, I am talking about an idea. So you can read in your screen, in it, slide says, the best capital is your idea. The best capital is your ideas. Is your idea. The best capital is not the money, because you can think, when I have 5,000 quetzales, I will do business. I will do real my dreams, my ideas. No, your best capital now are your ideas. If you have one idea only, if you only have one idea, that's good, and that's very well, and you can sell your idea. You can do any business with your ideas. We are living now in a time, in an era about ideas. For example, you have now a computer, you have now a cell phone, a smartphone, you have now access to the internet. We have a lot of resources available today at home. But the question is, what do you do with these all resources? What do you do? Only pass maybe 3-4 hours in Facebook? What are you doing 2 hours doing anything? Watching the life of the people? Watching the life of your friends? Are you generating new ideas in making some projects? Because this is the best capital. Your ideas are the best capital. If you don't have any idea, don't worry. Don't worry. You only need maybe today to buy the newspaper. Buy a newspaper today. Go to a newsstand and you can ask, please, I need to buy a newspaper. And when you read a newspaper, you can watch a good ideas. Maybe I recommend, I advise to you, sell Prensa Libre, for example, in Guatemala. Please don't buy Nuestro Diario, because I don't know if you can find there any good ideas. But if you sell a good newspaper, if you buy a good magazines, for example, or if you connect to the internet and read good things, good news, for example, you can find good ideas there, and you will obtain the best capital that a human people can obtain. The ideas. Your ideas is the best capital, and you can do business with your ideas. You can start today making something. All of us can do all whatever idea that we can find. So We need to do and to give good use to the internet, good use to the equipment that we have at home. If you are connected now in a cell phone, maybe you have a good equipment. If you are connected in desktop or in a laptop, for example, you have an equipment. Maybe you are I don't know what about another devices. Maybe in an iPad, for example. You have an iPad, you have an equipment. In there, with that equipment, you can generate new ideas. You can take the choice and start today with the best capital. The best capital is your ideas are my ideas, our ideas that we can have today. What else? I need that you think about the idea because I will talk more about this topic. Okay, we have here a cartoon making a lot of questions. Maybe he's thinking, what can I do? So we have 3 questions. Maybe it will be useful to you to start with making real your ideas. First question, do you have any experience? This is the first question. I make it in a question, but this is 4 tips. We have here 4 tips, good ideas for you, but I wrote it in a form of questions. So this is the why I'm talking about the questions, but are tips. Number 1, do you have any experience is the question. You have any experience, for example, making bread? This is an idea. You have the best capital because you know how to make some bread. If you, for example, have any experience to fixing computers, for example, this is an idea. You have what another people maybe doesn't have. If you have experience making works in electrician, you have experience drawing, maybe if you are studying architecture, you are studying civil engineering, maybe, and you have experience drawing, you have a capital because you have experience. Number 1. Number 2, what do you enjoy to do? What do you do? What do you enjoy to do? If you enjoy, for example, to taking a trip or make a trip or make a travel, so look for some ideas outside the home. If you don't enjoy to go outside your house, so look for ideas, generate ideas about doing something inside the house. So the question is, what do you enjoy to do? If you don't enjoy, listen to me, please. If you don't enjoy what you are doing now, you are in a big problem. Maybe you are working only for the check. Maybe you are working only for the salary. Maybe you are working only for the amount that you will receive at the end of the month, and you are not enjoying what you are doing at your job. You need to enjoy what you do. Why? Because this is the life. You have a chance, you have an opportunity today to do what you are doing. So the second question is, what do you enjoy to do? I hope that you are enjoying to study, for example, in this university. If you don't enjoy to connect, if you don't enjoy to receive this class, you are lost because you are only focused on pass the semester, but you are not learning anything. You need to enjoy what you do. Number three, is there anybody who can pay to you for your ideas? This is another question, very interesting question. Is there anyone who can pay cash money to you for your ideas? Please, who can pay some amount in quetzales for the idea that we have today, that you have today. If you don't think about this question, I don't know. I don't know if you will be an entrepreneur. I don't know if you will be a businessman. I don't know exactly what's the future for you. You need to make this question yourself. Is anybody who can pay to me for my ideas? And you need to think, and you need to take a seat. Maybe you need a table. Maybe you need to take a note, write something, and think about this question. If you find one person, if you find two people, more or less, that's the answer to your question. You find anybody who can pay for your ideas. How much? I don't know, because this is the next question. How much? Number 4. How much does it cost? This is another important question. How much does it cost? How much? Imagine, please, only imagine. Today you meet any person who has a lot of money. Maybe this is only imagination, but you will meet in the afternoon, for example. So this person asks to you, how much does your project cost? Maybe somebody can ask to you the amount of your project, the amount of your ideas. How much does your ideas cost? How much your project cost? So I ask to you, how much does your project cost? And you say, I don't know exactly. And you think, and you don't have an answer. You are in a problem. You are in a problem because you don't know how much your ideas cost. You don't know how much your project cost. You don't know how much your hour of work costs. Maybe you don't have any idea. We listen to, for example, that our family, maybe friends, family, I don't know, people who we know, who we meet, who are working in US, in United States. And they usually used to say, for example, my hour of work costs $10, for example. I work 1 hour per maybe $15. And they usually make refers to the hour of work, human works, in dollars. They know exactly how much the hour of his work, of their work, cost. But here in Guatemala, we have a problem. A big problem because we don't know exactly how much quetzales, how many quetzales cost the hour of the work that we do. You need to make numbers. You need to take maybe your cell phone. All of us have a cell phone. You can watch here my cell phone. And here I have an app. This app is calculator. I don't know if you know the calculator. And you say, yes, I know the calculator. It's easy. Okay, so use it. Use the calculator. Use the calculator. For example, you say, I have an idea. How much does it cost? That my idea cost? You say, for example, 1,000 quetzales. Maybe this is the cost for your idea. 1,000 quetzales. More or less, you know. Okay, and you say, well, I will use, for example, my car. You say, my car use gasoline. So if I will work 5 days per week, I need gasoline. Okay, well, I will summarize. I add, for example, maybe 500 quetzales more. So we have 1,500 quetzales. What else? You think about your idea and you are adding, you are summarizing the gasoline. What else? You say, for example, okay, I need light at home. I need to pay the invoice of the light to the municipality. How how much is the amount of the light? Maybe you say 200 quetzales plus 1,050 500 quetzales. We have 1,700 quetzales. 1,700. What else? We have gasoline, we have light, we have the cost of the idea. What else? So you said, I need a salary. This is my idea. I will work in my idea. I am my own boss, but I need a salary. How much do you win with the salary, for example? Okay, maybe you can say, I am beginning with this. I need only 1,000 quetzals. You are starting. So you have 2,700 quetzales. 2,700 quetzales. What else? I don't know what else. Maybe 500 quetzales from another thing. Another 800 quetzales for another thing. For that thing, for this thing. Maybe 1,000 for another thing. So at the end, we have 5,000 quetzales. Okay, when somebody asks to you how much does your project cost, you will say immediately, my project cost 5,000 quetzales. Why? Because you take a seat before, you were thinking before, you were taking note before, you were doing a lot of things before. So when a businessman come to you and say, how much your project cost, man, how much your project cost, girl, you can say, my project cost 5,000 quetzales. I need 5,000 quetzales. So you have the answer immediately. You have words to say. Anything who ask, how much does it cost? Is there anybody who can pay for your ideas? What do you enjoy to do? And if you have any experience doing something. If you don't have any experience, please don't take the business. Listen to me again. If you don't have any experience, please don't take that business. Why? Because you don't know how to do that. You don't have any experience. You need to go to the university. You need to go to Intercap, maybe. I don't know. You need to study. You need to obtain experience. It's necessary to make the projects make real. Okay, let's go ahead. What else we have here? Okay, just in case, I have there a title about saying just in case. What about the pictures? You say, I am hungry. I am hungry. Maybe the teacher is inviting me. No, I'm not inviting to you to eat exactly. I am inviting to you to make business. I am inviting to you to make real your ideas in a project. But what do you do if you don't have any idea, anything about in your mind? Okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. What do you need to know today in this time? Maybe you can have you may have some quetzales in your account in the bank. Maybe you have 20,000 quetzales. Maybe you have 30 or 40,000 quetzales. 50,000 quetzales is a lot of money. Or maybe you can say, it's easy for me. I have 100,000 quetzales in the bank. Okay, what are you doing with that money? I don't know. It's gaining some interest in the bank. No. You need to invest your money in good ideas who are working in all Guatemala country. You can take this idea, for example, if you have, I don't know exactly, maybe 40,000 quetzales to 60,000 quetzales, you can buy a franchise, micro franchise of Sarita ice cream. If you don't have much money, you only have, for example, 25,000 quetzales, you can buy La Nevería micro franchise. This is a good idea. You only need a local in your city and starting making money. What else, for example, if you don't have much money, you can buy another micro franchises. For example, El Pinulito. I don't know if you listened before about the Pinulito, but everyone knows today the Pinulito chicken. You can see these locals, I don't know, in bus stations maybe, and you maybe can invest your savings, you can invest your money, you can invest in this idea. You only need to connect to the web page maybe of Pinolito, and you ask them how much costs the micro franchise El Pinolito, because I have money and I need to invest here in my city. For example, if you are at the east, at the west, at the north, or at the south of Guatemala, you can buy these micro franchises. And they say to you, you need 20, maybe, I don't know exactly, 25,000 quetzales, and I will buy to you the micro franchise. Maybe you can obtain the answer in website of Pinolito, maybe in Pollo Granjero. You can buy these micro franchises. They are buying now to all people who want to buy, and to all people who have the money too. Maybe Pollolandia, maybe Pollo Granjero, maybe El Pinulito. I don't know if you know the history about El Pinulito, but the owner of Pinulito, I'm not sure, but I think that he is from San Jose Pinula. Maybe he is from San Jose Pinula, and he's making a lot of money selling these micro franchises, and you can obtain this business and starting today. What about another examples? For example, if you want to buy a micro franchise about Domino's, you can. In Guatemala, you can. Little Caesar Pizza, maybe you can buy this micro franchise. How much? Connect to the website. Dunkin' Donuts, maybe KFC. Maybe if you have much money, you can buy McDonald's franchise. This is not a micro franchise. This is a franchise. So we have, just in case, some ideas. If you don't have, clear your idea what you can start doing business today, you have these choices, you have these ideas. If you want, you take. If you don't want, don't worry about it. Okay, we are arriving at the end of the class, and we have, like every single class, 5 questions today. Number 1, an entrepreneur has more experience than a businessman. Number 1, an entrepreneur has more experience than a businessman. True or false? You have the answer. Number 2, you need 30 months to jump from entrepreneur to a businessman. What do you think? 30 months? You have the answer. Think about it. Number 3, anybody can sell projects as long as they have good ideas. Think. Anybody can sell projects as long as they have good ideas, maybe selling products, maybe selling services. You have the answer. Number 4, it's not necessary. Okay. Analyze, please. It's not necessary to have any experience to make projects. It's true or it's false? It's not necessary to have any experience. We were talking about this maybe 5 minutes ago. And the last one, number 5, another way to do business is to buy or invest in micro franchises. True or false? We were talking now about that topic. Another way to do business is to buy or invest in micro franchises. True or false? I am sure that you have the correct answer. So if you have another ideas, you can write to me to the email. I will answer that slowly, but you will receive the answer for me. So please send me an email if you have any question, you have another ideas about business, about projects, if you have another ideas to become a businessman, to become an entrepreneur. So we are arriving to at the end of the class, and I want to thank to you for to be here in this class. It was a pleasure to be here. And remember, please remember this announcement. Today is the last day. The university is waiting for you. So thank you very much, and see you the next week. I hope in God it will be like I'm saying now. See you. Bye bye. Thank you very much.